Hey, it's Blastzone Mike and my good friend Jim Foster. And Jim is here for the second week. I guess we're going to consider this a show now. Fact, fiction,
I think
or fantasy. And I love Jim. I haven't got to meet him. He's got a beautiful woman. She's like, stunning, like my wife, I think. And,
we got lucky.
Yeah, we got lucky, didn't we? Did I get lucky, or did you say you got? What did you say? Which one of us got lucky, me or you?
I say we got lucky.
Oh, we got lucky. Okay, I didn't hear you there for a minute. I was like,
now,
hold on a second.
Didn't you roll through Oklahoma a couple years ago?
No, I haven't been to Oklahoma since 2009 when I did Rocklahoma.
Oh, that's what we talked about. Okay.
I did Rocklahoma in 2008 and 2009. That's the last time I've been in Oklahoma. Yeah. But I'd like to come back. I've got some friends there like you, and number one, as I call him, he's from there, and of course, Big Bird's from there. Everybody knows him.
Yeah.
Chris Knight. So,
I know Chris for a while. So yeah, that's how we got Chris. Yeah.
That's how we met, was because of Chris.
Yeah, that's right.
And I talk to you more than I do Chris, which is really weird. But anyway. I digress. Let's talk about what we need to talk about. First thing I want to talk about tonight, and then we're going to get to flat Earth, because I think everybody needs to know your feelings about flat Earth, my feelings about flat Earth, and go on from there. But what I want to talk about first is the government has allowed Pfizer, right? Pfizer, not Moderna, but Pfizer.
Yeah, you might as well lump it together, because big tech is the government. Government's big tech. There is no more government, really. But yeah, go ahead. Yeah, but Pfizer.
They have approved this new shot for kids that are 5 to 12 years old. And I think we're going to go. I think we're going to end up being like California and every state before it's over with, where if your kid's not vaccinated, they can't go to school. And I want to know your opinion of that, because me personally, my opinion is, if I had a kid that was going to school, like I have a grandchild that's going to school, and I have a daughter, I call my daughter going to school, and I know neither one of them are going to get vaccinated. Mm-hmm. So what's your opinion of the whole vaccination thing?
Don't do it. It's the devil. Foosball's the devil. Remember what movie that was? Waterboy.
Now explain why you feel that way. I mean, not just say it's the devil, but I mean, explain.
I'm going to. I'm going to get into this. So what this whole thing has been about from the very beginning is about control. Okay? Control of what you do with your life. Whatever happened to my body, my choice. Right? That doesn't exist now, because what is in this thing, and we're going to be careful saying the word, because if this is going on YouTube, they got algorithms and all this AI that'll throw you down. So we'll just do this body and say maybe you're getting that thing in your arm, right? So what's in that? What's in that thing that people are injecting into their body is what the Luciferian controlled New World Order system has been putting together since 2012. And rarely starting in 2014. And that is a nanotechnology with graphene oxide.
Now explain what graphene oxide is.
So you have number remember in school, got your number 2 pencil, right? So this is graphite. Okay. And graphite is made of graphene. So graphene is the molecular component of graphite. And they have found that on the molecular level, now we're talking nanoparticles, and to give you an idea how small a nanoparticle is, a piece of hair, right? Take a piece of hair out, and you have a piece of hair, and the cuticle, the round part of your hair, right? So that round part of your hair, think about how small that is. Okay, a nanoparticle, let's say that cuticle, you can blow that up to the size of the Empire State Building. So now your cuticle is now the size of the Empire State Building. A nanoparticle is a 1/4 inch next to the Empire State Building. That's how small a nanoparticle is. So what they have found with graphene oxide is that they can use vibrations at certain hertz, certain megahertz, and they can also coat it. Now they have been coating, coating, coating this mRNA inoculation, this thing you're getting in your arm. They've been coating it with gold, thousands and thousands and thousands of microns thin of gold to implant data. Now, when I've got family in the Air Force, so when I was hearing this stuff, excuse me, a while back, it doesn't take long for it to sink into my head, and because I go from bull crap to oh my gosh, you're right. Now my bull crap is really short now because of all the things I've been learning the last 18 years of my life about this Luciferian controlled New World Order system. So the thing that they're putting in the arm changes who you are. So you become a genetically modified human being. So what that graphene oxide does is it's triggered like, okay, so when they rolled out 5G, it can be, this graphene oxide can be triggered. And I want people to DuckDuckGoose, DuckDuckGo, Google, whatever your search engine is. Look up graphene oxide and what it does. It actually moves. It's like it's has a mind of its own, because you can send certain frequencies into it and it will do things to you. Okay, so that's what this is all about. And there's a doctor, there's actually been a lot of doctors that have looked at this graphene oxide in the vaccines, in the I just said it, sorry, in the thing you get in your arm. They said they're about 99.8% graphene oxide. So this whole plan,
is that the reason why I was at a store and I was talking to a lady? I told her to put a magnet up to her arm and it stuck to her arm.
Right. No, exactly right. And people go, "Oh, that's not real. That's not."
I saw it. Now let me tell you, I've had other people do it and it didn't happen to them. But I saw this lady literally put it on this arm and this arm. She said, I don't remember where I got it, but she put it all over her arm, and every part of her arm was magnified. Now, a lot of people say we have that already in our system, but I can put a magnet up to me and it don't stick to my arm.
No, what that is right. Because what it is, when they put that in your arm, all of that graphene is there, and it is attracted to a magnet. So, but once it disperses out into your body, it's no longer. I mean, you can. Maybe at some point on your body you can, but what they've been finding out with this inoculation, this thing you're putting in your arm, is it's going directly to women's ovaries, reproductive, and it's going to men's hearts and legs for blood clots. Have you heard about the blood clotting that's going on with this thing? So, oh gosh, yeah. So, and all of this, people, you can just do this on your computer and you can look it up just like that. This is done because of the Georgia Guidestones. Say it all. The Georgia Guidestones, if you're not familiar, Google or whatever you're searching, Georgia Guidestones, the first commandment on there is to decrease the population of the world to 500 million. Now, this is what we've been talking about, this whole thing. And that's how flat Earth and the round Earth, they're all tied together because it's the same control.
What I think is humorous is, well, it's not humorous, but I think it's like ironic. Let's put it that way, because I don't want people to be mad at me when I say it. But in the state of Kentucky, our governor says that more people who have been, done that way are in the hospital now than ever. And I'm thinking to myself, how can you get in the hospital with the C word if you've already had this done? It makes no sense. It's like.
And if it doesn't make sense, it's not true.
I've got friends already that I know that. And there's been proven people who died, and my friend, what the doctor told him? Oh, well, it just made it wasn't worse for you that you didn't have to go to the hospital. Well, that's not what you told me at first. At first, you told me I'll never get it, but I'll be safe.
They keep moving the goalpost.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like my mother-in-law got it behind her back, and we're scared for her every day, but. It's one of those things for my family. I know my son, my daughter, we're totally against that. And the thing about it is this, Jim. Let me say this. The thing
Are
about
you against it instinctively or religiously? Why are you against it?
Because I don't believe it exists. I don't believe it's
instinctively. Okay.
I don't believe it's good for you. But you know, the thing about it is this, okay? This ain't a Republican, this ain't a Democrat thing. This is poor people, rich people, middle class people, all together saying, we're not going to take it. We're not going to do it. You know, I mean, and you know, the thing that gets me, like yourself, okay? You have a great job. You have a job that you go to every day. You know, you work in a pretty good job. I don't want to get into what it is, but you know, certain people on your level are told you have to get it or we're going to fire you. You're not going to
for all you people that are watching, I'm a pimp. So it's I'm trying to get out of it. I'm just kidding. But yeah, but you're right.
and you know, my friend, he's the same way. He's in that same level, you know, that I would say you're in, okay? And
yeah,
they made him back up against the corner and made him feel like he had to do it. And even his best friend, since he was a kid, told him, "Don't come around us unless you do."
No, man, that's called shedding. Now let me ask you something, Michael, for people that are going to be watching this. Do you know the last time the government, all governments, and people really need to drop their egos and their blinders, lift the veils off. The last time that all Earth governments agreed on one thing, that was the Antarctic Treaty. No one can go to the South Pole, right? No one.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. It's never happened before except then. Now, what is every government agreeing on that you have to get? This.
Yeah.
So there is a reason. So your instincts were right not to get it, because it is not about your health. It's about control, because what they're doing is they're ushering in the one world governmental system. How do they do that? They have to get everybody under control. They've got to depopulize the earth. Bill Gates, he's under war crimes in Africa, in India for his things, because he's killing everybody. You know Bill Gates' dad. You know who his dad is?
Mm-hmm.
Bill Gates' dad. He was on the board of Planned Parenthood. And do you know what Planned Parenthood is?
Oh yeah.
Do you know who started Planned Parenthood? Her name is Margaret Sanger. Margaret Sanger was the biggest racist on the planet. She started Planned Parenthood to get rid of the Negroes.
Wow.
That is her. Those are their words. It's in their bylaws. They wanted to get rid of the undesirables and, quote, Negroes. So it started out to get rid of all the blacks back in the early 1900s. This is Margaret Sanger. This is Planned Parenthood. Bill Gates is part of that ilk. Okay. So all these crazy lunatic billionaires, okay, want to depopulize because they're sick. They are sick in the head because they have so much money. They're bored. This is kind of like the Mockingjay. What was that? What's that show? The Mockingjay. She has a bow and arrow.
Oh, Hunger Games.
This is like the Hunger Games. These people are that sick. They're drinking children's blood and adrenochrome. This is not fantasy. This is all real.
Well, I mean, this goes back to like Red Cross. You know, when we had our tornado, you know, Red Cross is here and everybody's donating money. And then it comes to even 9/11, Red Cross got money. And, you know, they said, we're going to leave this for another disaster and another disaster. But at the core of it, they take 50% of all the money.
Oh, yeah. No, they're paying. Yeah.
You know, they get 50% of everything that comes in. So if you send them $1 million, they get half of it for whatever they want to do for it. You know, it's kind of like, let me think. I could be wrong about this. You could correct me. The National Cancer Fund that was put together by Rockefeller. Is that his name? Who put together the cancer?
You're talking about the usual suspects. Yep. Rockefeller.
And that was all a scam. That was all a scam. There ain't none of that money goes to anybody. It goes to people that line their pockets. Yeah. You know, I mean, it's the same shit over and over and over and over again. You know, and then people like us down at the bottom, this little sheep down at the bottom, keep falling for it like Charlie Brown in the football. Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. Yeah. And you know, the thing that gets me the most is it's like everybody says it's a Republican or Democrat thing, and it's not. It's a people thing.
I will throw somebody out of my house if they start that BS, because the Republican Democrat is just for us little sheep down here to think we have a choice. They're Republican Democrat, globalist agenda. It's the globalist agenda, folks, that is moving forward. And Republican Democrat is for the little sheep down here to think you have a choice. I want to tell you, did I mention this to you last week? I think I did. I think about you lose most of your rights under a Republican president.
Yeah, you told me that, which really blew my mind because I thought you were more Republican than Democrat.
Oh, no, I am neither. I am. If we have to throw a label, I am more libertarian than anything. Drugs, all drugs should be legal. There's no war on drugs. Ronald Reagan brought us the war on drugs. That has taken so many people's freedoms away. 3 strikes rule out in California. Ronald Reagan also, you know what Ronald Reagan also did? He made it so the vaccine, so the people that give this to
you, yeah,
he made it so
you told me we talked about that last week, you know?
Yeah, so exactly right.
I mean, so either way you go in the next election, if you vote for a Democrat, it's still the same shit. If you vote for Republicans, it'll be the same shit.
Yep.
There's nothing that's going to change.
We just get there a lot faster because it's all the globalist agenda. We just get there a lot faster under a Republican president.
Would that mean that there really is? Now I'm going to go out on this one. Illuminati.
Oh well, no, Illuminati's an overplayed word, but the Illuminati is real. It's documented. Mike, it's been documented. They started in the 1700s with the Freemasons. This is documentable. This and all of this leads back to the Catholic Church, by the way, the Jesuit order. And before that, the 1500s. Before that, it was Constantine, and before that, you went on down to Pope Pius I. I mean, all of this is coming out of the Catholic Church because the Catholic Church is the cabal as well. The Catholic Church worships Lucifer. They are sun worship, S-U-N, sun worship, and they're not hiding it. If you look what the Pope's doing today, look what their Pope is doing today, and you can just go, oh my gosh, he is bringing in the one world religion. But this is why they have to do the one world government first, and that's what this is about. That's why you're getting this in, because number one, they're using fear to get it in your body. And I'm glad to hear that you weren't scared, but they're using fear to steer the populace towards this one world government.
Hey, if I was going to get it, I would have got it when my governor was offering me like $5,000 and a chance for $1 million and free beer or whatever it was. Tickets to Super Bowl. I mean, I would have been one of them people do that.
Why don't people see? Why can't they? I mean, why can't they just see exactly what the governments are doing? They're paying you to go get something in your body. They got to have a motive.
Yeah.
They have that you think the governments care about you. George Carlin. I didn't appreciate George Carlin, the comedian, in my 20s. I'm now 52.
He's amazing.
He was so right on. George Carlin, he said a lot of things that are, just right on the money. But 2 of the things he said that I really like is there's a set of rules I live by. And the first rule is I don't believe the word of government tells me. Okay. And the second one that I really like is he says, it's a big club and we ain't in it.
Yeah. I mean, Carlin was amazing, dude. And it brings you back to like what we talked about last week. Do you believe in time travel? I believe that things could have happened. Well, there's a perfect show. I don't know if you've seen it or not. I think it's on Hulu. Have you seen the Stephen King show about the guy that owns the diner and the guy tells him to go through the portal to save Kennedy?
No.
You need to watch it. It's like 6 parts. I'll send you the actual what it's called. And he's like, he has to live in that time period all the way to where the 60s, all the way up to when Kennedy gets shot. And his whole point as this portal from this guy is to go through it and save Kennedy. And the world will be different. But there's a very rude awakening at the end after he saves Kennedy. If he does save Kennedy. Okay, let's put it that way. Well, it is amazing, dude, because it really shows you that if there was time travel, how think of it this way. How do we have billionaires? There had to have been something
Well, okay, so
they're going to be billionaires.
Well, here's a couple of different components there. There's no such thing as time travel per se, but there's something called Operation Looking Glass. People,
part of it.
Imagine that, Operation Looking Glass. Okay, the government started this in the 1980s. So that is kind of like where they can see what's going to happen. Not really see what's going to happen. They have some type of I'm not really sure how they do it, but the governments that are running Looking Glass have glimpses into certain things, and they can kind of steer which way they're going. And so just look that up. And to your second thing about billionaires, right? What was here before? Well, you've heard about the Great Reset. This is the Great Reset coming up, right? Well, there was a Great Reset back in the 1800s. Okay, so there is an ancient society called, I'll think of it here in just a minute, the Tartarians. Okay, the old society called the Tartarians, and they were on old maps and everything. So they were here. That's why they were here before anybody or before us. And if you think about it, a Great Reset happened in the 1800s. Do you remember when you heard all about the orphans? All these orphans were never in the 1800s. Yeah. Okay, what happened to their parents? There was no World War I, World War. It's okay. So people were getting wiped out, and they were taking these children, and they were moving them to states like Oklahoma, Kansas. So it was a Great Reset in the 1800s. And these people that were doing it at the time are the people that we're talking about today. I mean, the people that did it are dead, but their bloodline, the 13 bloodlines that we've been fighting, that are the Bill Gateses, the George Soroses, the Justin Trudeau's, the Queen Elizabeth. These are the bloodlines, that the 13 family bloodlines, starting with the Merovingians, that we have been battling forever, and they're just redoing what they did in the 1800s to depopulate the earth and bring in Satan and the one world government.
Okay, well, let's shift gears, okay? Because the reason I met you is because you're a flat Earth guy, and
yes,
quote unquote, people think flat earthers are crazy, because there's like these cockamamie things that flat earthers believe in, like there's you can't go past this zone and all this and blah 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 and yada yada.
Right here.
So go ahead and let's talk about, when did had you always believed in your life there was a round Earth, and then eventually, and it just come to you one day that it's a flat Earth? I mean, how did this all come about for you?
Well, I got lucky, in a sense, if you want to call luck, and everybody knows what luck is, right? Luck is where preparation and opportunity meets, right? That's what luck is. So I had the opportunity to grow up in a family of pilots, Air Force, United States Air Force pilots, squadron commander, flight commander. Okay. So, and I grew up hearing that the earth was stationary. My family never used flat, but it was stationary. And it wasn't really a big topic in the 70s and 80s. It really I never thought about it twice, but as the new flat earth let's call it geocentric, came about, and I go, oh my God, I'm born and bred for this, because I already knew that we were stationary. So let me start evangelizing and pushing out the word about where we live. And this is where we live. Don't pay attention to all the land, because they're not in the right spots. No map. This map here, not correct. This map here, not correct. Okay, but this is pretty close. So we live here in a dome over us, like a snow globe. And if you're a Christian and you believe in the Bible, there are over 300 verses in the Bible about the geocentric, about this thing right here. There are 0 about dinosaurs, and there are 0 about this, if you believe in that sort of stuff. But if you don't, the science, we can prove all day long that the earth is geocentric. And I just got to talk with a gentleman last night, and didn't get to finish it. I was letting him speak a lot so I could find out which way he was coming from. And we're gonna do it here in a couple of weeks. So I wanted to find out, his angles and all that stuff, because I had everything to refute what he was talking about, or not really refute, but give a different perspective on it.
Rebuttal.
Yeah, but never got to that place. Super nice guy, but we'll do it here in a few weeks. But my point being is that there are so many proofs and so many visual, quantitative proofs that we live here and not here. You know why this came about, Mike? Well, do you want to guess who brought it about? Who have I been talking about? I've been talking about the Catholic Church, right? Catholic Church brought this in. And why did they bring it in? The Jesuit order, they brought the heliocentric model in to disprove the existence of Yahweh.
No, let me ask you a question. Why does it make the hell of beans if we're on a flat earth or round earth? I mean, well, because we could be, do you believe in, I live in Kentucky, okay? We have the most caves in any part of the United States, okay? We have most caves in the United States, okay? Mammoth Cave is huge. There's still parts that they still haven't explored at Mammoth Cave. So who's to say that there isn't a underworld too? That there's a world underneath us.
There's an underworld. It's called Sheol. That's also on the flat earth. It's called Sheol. That's where all of our souls go when we die. That's where we're going to wait until Jesus comes back at the second coming at the last trump. Now,
so that's different. That's different than what I was brought up to believe, that there's a heaven and earth and hell.
There's all three, and then the Sheol is where the souls go. Yeah, you're correct. There's three parts of heaven. There's earth, and then there's hell, and there's Sheol. These are all parts of the geocentric Bible earth. And you said, well, what does it matter, right? Well, does it matter if you believe in this or believe in this? If you believe that Yeshua is real, right, and Yahweh is real, does it matter which one you believe in? On the grand scheme of things, no, because you're already there. But what this does for you is that you then realize, it's not where you believe, it's not where you live, it's the lie. And why did they lie? Once you step back and go, well, why do we believe in this? Why? I don't care if I live here. I don't care if I live here, because I believe where I'm going to heaven because I am saved and I believe in Yahweh and I believe in Yeshua, right? Yeah. We have all that together. So if you do, then you need to become a warrior for an evangelist for this, because it's the lie. And why did they lie about this? Because they don't want you to believe that you're in an insignificant little hurling ball through space, right? That one day we're going to have to leave and go to Mars, because what we breathe out is destroying this, right? So we have to destroy this. We're destroying this because we breathe and cow farts and all that, right? So you're not in with the North Star right here. Right here, North Star in the three heavens, where how God made us, because He's looking down on us. God and Yahweh wants us to be the center of His life. That's why He made us the center of His. That's why we're right here, right? We're not here going through space and all this stuff.
But what if somebody comes to you and say, Jim, you're just crazy as a bad shit turd? How do you rebuttal that? I mean, by going, man, that's just crazy.
Well, I would say, first of all, what makes me crazy? Because I have a different perspective than you, right? Because you might have been indoctrinated by preschool. Let me ask you a question. What's it so crazy, right? What's in every classroom? If you and I have to coexist, right? That's one of the key phrases going out the last 15 years, right? I'm Muslim, you're Christian, he's Jewish. I can eat meat, you can eat fish. We have to coexist and get along with all of this, right? But the moment you say that we live here, oh no, we can't coexist with you. Why do they fight it so hard? Just like the thing you're getting in your arm. Why are they fighting it so hard to make sure everybody gets in it? Because there is an ulterior motive and they have an agenda, right? You say this, you're crazy, look, oh my God, get away, right? What's in every classroom? All across this great earth of ours, Iran, Russia, Japan, China, United States, England, Africa, from kindergarten to 8th grade, this thing is in the classroom. So why do we all have to agree? Why is it so important that this to agree on this, because it gets rid of this. And this is where you live. And this is how Yahweh made us, right? So if somebody says I'm crazy, I will respectfully agree, because I am crazy like a fox, and I know what I'm talking about. But I will ask them.
So if there's a dome, when you hit that dome eventually?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No,
if that dome goes all the way into my backyard, okay, that's where, say the dome's like around and it's in my backyard, okay?
Here's your backyard right here.
Yeah. Yep. Shouldn't I be like go over and put a fist and there's something there? I mean.
Yeah. So I hope you're taking notes. Operation Fishbowl. My great uncle, because I have my whole family's military, great uncle, Air Force. He's dead now. He was part of Operation Fishbowl. So all of the information is out there about this and what they've been hiding. You can actually search engine, right? Mm-hmm. Rockets, people shooting rockets. Search it. This guy, an amateur rocket was shot up, and it's going, and then it hits the firmament. Hits the firmament, and it sounds like water. It's the most amazing thing. Why is the sky blue? What did you learn in school? Why the sky is blue?
I didn't really learn that. I'll be honest with you.
Well, no, that's okay. That's okay. What I remember, and I barely remember.
But you're making me really think about what you're talking about, because. Go ahead.
Well, that's good. That's good because we don't live in a spinning ball that we can destroy. We have to go to Mars, because God did not create this. Yahweh did not create this. He created this because he's right above us. But what was I saying about, the sky is blue, right? Uh-huh. We learn because it's a reflection off water. And I'm in Oklahoma, and I'm going, where the hell is all the water?
No shit, I've been there. I ain't seen the water.
No, exactly right. But do you know why it's blue? It's because it's full of water. Genesis 3. God separated the waters from the waters. Okay, that's why the sky is blue. And the stars in the firmament, Genesis 4, the stars in the firmament, the stars in the moon and the sun are in the firmament. It's all in the Bible, if you believe in that sort of stuff, right? And sometimes I give talks, and I'll have 80, 100 people at these places. And, I'll ask who's agnostic, who's atheist, agnostic, Jewish, Muslim, whatever it is. Oh, hey, so we're all here for a message. And, the message being is the New World Order is real. That's my main focus now with my messaging and my talks and all that stuff. They are here. They are not playing around. They're doing this for a reason. They did this for a reason, all to bring you away from Yahweh. And in that thing, they're messing with the write this down, folks. They're messing with the VMAT2 gene, and that is the gene, that is the God gene. That's what it's 2% of our DNA, but what separates us from monkeys.
Somebody told me this kind of goes with it, but it doesn't. Somebody told me, I was in a store the other day in the state of Kentucky. We can't have marijuana in the state of Kentucky, unlike the state of Oklahoma where you live. But anyway,
all drugs can be legal.
But anyway, so I'm in there and I'm talking to the guy, and I've tried CBD, I've tried marijuana, blah blah blah, whatever. He told me that in my body's are receptors, and I have to clean those receptors to be able to have it spark again. And I'm thinking to myself, what in the hell is this guy talking about? It's the same thing with like what you're talking about, the receptors in your brain believing what your brain believes. You know what I mean? It's like our whole body's like all kinds of receptors. And it made me think about that the other day, because I'm like, what is he talking about? That I need to reset my body. I'm like,
well, our bodies, our whole world, our whole earth, okay, is made up of vibrations, frequency, and resonance. Okay, Nikola Tesla knew this. If you want to unlock the keys of the universe, or unlock the universe, the keys are 3, 6, and 9. Okay, there is what we call the pituitary. Is it pituitary? What's the third eye? I'm having a brain fart. Anyway, but that the reopening your body, getting that CBD in your body. It helps cleansing yourself of all the metals that they've been putting, like, chemtrails. Fillings used to be metal. Remember, fillings used to be metal, right? Yeah. So the devil is smart. Satan is smart. He's been here a very long time, and he has the 13 families, and they're all part of that bloodline, adrenochrome, and the whole 9 yards. So your doctor is right. Get stuff to at least not detoxify your body if you can from all the poisons that we've had. Yeah,
this is a guy in the store selling CBD, not a doctor. Most doctors around here, they want you to get the thing in your arm. They were like, you got to have it, blah, blah, blah.
Man, they're evil. They're all evil. No, you don't have to have it. How about you, and I'll, it's my body, my choice. But see, people, I want to drive this point home for people that will watch this. You have to understand why they're doing this and why they all agree. They can't agree on anything except the Antarctic Treaty. And now all the governments are agreeing on this one thing. What is their agenda? It's because it's killing people and they know it. And the Delta variant, quote unquote, that is this. This is the Delta variant. The Delta variant is this. And when they come out with the Epsilon variant, it's going to be this. This is the Epsilon. Whatever variant they want to bring up, it's this. It's all this.
Well, I want to try to get your view. Next week we're going to talk about angels, demons, and aliens. Okay, because you have a different belief in what those each are, but we're not going to get into that tonight. But that'll be for next week. But
that'll be the Nephilim. Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen this or not, but in Hazard, Kentucky, I've sent it to you, and maybe I'll have your review on it next week. But I'll tell you the story, and then you can talk. I'll let you look at it and see it. But
yeah, please.
In Hazard, Kentucky, they had young women and boys. Young women were in Hooters outfits, and a young girl was in her bra and panties dancing on teachers at a function in Hazard last week. Okay.
Wait, so say this again.
They had this thing, it was like Guys' Day or something. I can't remember what they called it. And they had like all the young girls, like I'd say they're 14 to 17, dressed up in Hooters outfits. Okay. And there's a picture of a young girl in a red bra and panties dancing on a teacher and twerking. And then a young boy dressed up like a girl twerking on a teacher. And then the teachers were paddling students and students paddling the teachers. Yeah, I said that. Yeah, in the bra and panties. Yeah. And to me, it's
was that at school or just some type of?
It was in a high school that's like only 30 miles from where I live. Okay. 30 miles from where I live. This school, it happened. And it's like nobody's doing anything about it. The superintendent is like, blah, blah. And then, the principal's like, oh, well, it was just harmless fun. I tell you what, I have a 14-year-old daughter. Everybody knows that I have a 14-year-old daughter. She looks like she's 18. And if she would have done that, there would have been mass casualties. I'm just saying. And it was like, where is our world going to, Jim, that people think this is able to be happening?
Well, here's a short answer. Okay. So as we get closer to when Yeshua comes back for the second time and the last time, right? When we're all caught up and changed in an instant, twinkle of an eye, right? What's happening is what has been holding back all of this evil is the Holy Spirit. So the Holy Spirit is being lifted slowly. And that's why you're seeing all of this stuff creep out. That's the short answer. That's the spiritual side. The other side of that is that we have been desensitized in the across this earth. Across this earth, we've been desensitized to things. So that helps sneak in and usher in abhorrent behavior. But just because, but the reason is because the Holy Spirit's lifting up and all this stuff is coming out.
So it's like we're living in hell anyway.
Well, yeah, we're the highest part of hell and the lowest part of heaven right now, and have been since this is. And I don't know if you know this, you may. But, I've studied the Bible quite a bit the last, 15, 20 years and try to get messages right, because I want to be able to, I always pray and I ask, I don't want my words to lead anybody astray. That's one thing that I always ask every night. When I say something, I don't want my words to steer somebody down the wrong path. But when Yeshua, he's on his way back, but Yeshua in Matthew 8, I can't remember. Look, you can look it up. But he called Satan twice in the Bible. Yeshua, Jesus, called Satan the God of this planet, lowercase g, and he called him the prince of this planet, of this earth. Sorry, he called him the prince of this earth and the God of this earth. So this has been Satan's playground since way back when. And that's why we're fighting this. It's coming to a head. This is Ephesians 6. This is a spiritual battle against flesh and blood, right? All of this fighting with us down in Republican, Democrat, and all this crap. It's nothing, folks. We are now seeing what evil really is and what people will actually do, like Fauci and the puppies, Fauci and the monkeys, right? I mean, just torturing. And Fauci's created AIDS. AIDS came out of the United States, man. Okay, they have patents on Ebola, patents. What does it mean when you have a patent on something? It means it's man-made. AIDS is man-made. Yeah. So
what blows my mind is you can get like Lysol, I think it is, and on it since the dawn of time it said COVID-19.
What did? Well,
Lysol, I think a Lysol can has COVID-19 on it. Like it's going to clean up COVID-19, and it's been on. There's actual documented proof on the internet of from years ago, before COVID was even announced. That people knew it.
So, but here's what that is. Let me tell you what that is. That is called lesser magic. Okay, everything that we're dealing with are occultists. Okay, this is an occult ritual. Wearing a mask is an occult ritual. So it's called predictive programming, lesser magic. They have to tell us what they're doing. God did not set up the earth for that. And they have to tell us what they're doing. 9/11, inside job. It was in movies. It was in Back to the Future. It was in Terminator. So they tell us this because, first of all, they have to. Second, it gives it more power. So that's lesser magic. Then they have manifestation magic. Manifestation magic is when they speak words and they do rituals to manifest spirits. That's what CERN is in Switzerland. CERN. Look it up. That's what CERN is. And then they also have chaos magic. Chaos magic is when they destroy. They put a lot of energy, like the Twin Towers, like the Pentagon. They put all of this energy into this object and they blow it up to release all of that energy.
And that's been going on for years because I think it's in Ireland. They manifest nymphs, which are evil fairies. They say there's evil fairies there.
Yeah, the occult side is real. We are being run by a bunch of Satanists, folks. Trump, Obama, Clinton, Trudeau, all of the top leaders are occultists.
Has there ever been in the United States anyone that isn't that way?
John F. Kennedy and Abraham Lincoln. What happened to them?
So let me ask you this before we go, and we can get into this more another time. But you've heard of Q, right?
Biggest fake psyops in the world. Don't believe it.
So you don't think it's John F. You don't think it's John F. Kennedy?
No. So what Q was to tag, trace, and follow. Okay, so everybody that was in QAnon are supposed patriots, right? All these people being Q, and they kept saying we're going to do this and this, we're going to do this, and nothing ever comes from it. But they got everybody that was into it. They got their name, number, and everything else that the government can get from you to find out who are these Q people, and they did that for a reason, so they could tag people and trace them.
Yeah,
okay?
but
QAnon is a huge.
It doesn't matter if you have a cell phone, they can find you.
But they may not know. I mean, it's wouldn't it be easier to say, hey, everybody come to my party? That way they're all there and you can get them instead of trying to look for them individually.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that's why QAnon came about. So they got everybody to this party. It's a lot easier to count heads when they're all together instead of trying to figure out who they are. They're like, hey, let's get them to the party. We'll find out who they are. Yeah, QAnon. Q is the biggest psyops next to 9/11 and this pandemic and this stupid COVID, which my dad died last summer of.
Your dad died of COVID?
Yeah, he sure did.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that makes it where it's real then.
Oh yeah. No, COVID is real. And they released it on purpose so they could get rid of the elderly, so they could force Trump, your people's savior Trump, brought you this thing. He brought you warp speed, and everybody's, yeah, okay, warp speed. And I'm like, no, F him. We don't want this. And now look what, and no one listened to me, and no one listened to a lot of other people. You don't want this thing. You don't want warp speed. But it was our guy, quote unquote, and all. That's why nobody, they're going, okay, yeah, come on, Trump, bring it. And now look what look what Trump did.
You can say whatever
look what
you
he
want.
did. You got to have it to get a job. You got to have it to pet your dog. You got to have to pet. Now you see what Trump did. See what freedoms he took from you.
So let me ask you a question, because I didn't know that about your dad. Was that slow or fast? The COVID with him.
Let me think here. 4 weeks, maybe. Don't go to hospital, Mike.
No, I don't go to hospitals at all.
I didn't want him to go. And it was too late. My stepmom already took him, and he was dead. He's bleeding from the eyes. And
oh my goodness gracious.
Oh yeah, vented. Well, they put a ventilator in, and they were. And I was screaming last year, or whenever Trump was in office a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
We need ventilators. We need ventilators. No, that's a death sentence. They're doing this on purpose to get rid of you, little sheep that think the government loves you.
But do you know how he even contracted it?
No, I have no clue.
Was he a guy that was out all the time, active? I mean, or was he like an older gentleman and didn't do nothing?
No, he's older. I mean, he's an old biker. Just tough as nails, but don't know how he got it. Have no clue.
Were you in Oklahoma? Were you able to have funerals and stuff, or not?
Yeah, for him we did. Yeah, because it had passed that hysterical stage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And right when all this shit happened in March, I was no, don't do this, don't close your business.
Mm-hmm.
This is bull crap. They're doing this on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So people go, oh, you don't think it's real? No, I know it's real because they did it on purpose, but they're doing it for a reason. And the reason is to get you under control.
That's the thing that people need to understand. It is real and it really happened, but the reasons why it happened are totally different than what everybody thinks it is.
They are diametrically different than what it didn't happen from some. They didn't happen from some bat in China. No, it came from the Wuhan lab, which is now it's all coming out. And let me tell you something. You ready for this? This is how sick these people are and how stupid we are. So COVID 2019 into 2020, right?
Mm-hmm.
So December, so March it hit us. Right, and they said, and do you remember them saying it came from a bat? Do you remember that?
Yeah. Somebody ate a bat and plaza or some shit.
Just like AIDS came from a monkey. Are you fucking kidding me? There, okay. You know how hard it is to fuck a monkey. So.
Wait a minute. Wait. Do you know some monkey fuckers from back then, or what?
No, I can't catch them. You can't catch them.
Okay, that's because they're on the same level as a human. Most of them. They got this.
Right? Yeah. So the story's changed. Of course, now everybody knows where it came from. But let me tell you this. So what? Look it up. The United States quarter. This is in January of 2020.
It's got a bat on it, and everybody's going, "What? Why is there a damn bat?"
This is before March when they started, right?
Yeah.
How did they know? How did they know
it's a bat? Yeah.
Because it's planned out.
And then everybody's like, then the government's like, oh, we're going to get China for this. We're going to get China for this. And guess, isn't that where the damn Olympics was?
Oh yeah.
This last year was in China, right?
Yeah. Yeah, this is all fight, Republican, Democrat, fight, black and white, gay, straight, orange, yellow, China against Russia. It's all to keep us busy so we don't see what they're doing. This is agenda, guys. This is Agenda 21 straight out of the UN. Agenda 2030 out of the UN. COP 26 at the Vatican. This is all about sustainable development. These are globalist, Satan worshiping devil mofos, and they do not care about you at all. So don't believe a word they say.
So next week we're going to talk about angels and demons and aliens and all that, and I want to talk a little bit about the canal that the boat was stuck in next week. You know, the big ship.
Yeah.
And
how
and we won't talk about that right now. We won't talk about that now, but that's some of the things that you all can look forward to listening to next week. And if you have any opinions, any of you, and they're opinions that are not hate or anything like that, please send it to the email address or leave it as a comment. If you'd like to be a guest and you'd like to voice your opinion, let us know, and we'd love to have you come on where we can talk to you too and see how you feel about it. Jim is a complete flat earth guy. Me, I just don't care. I could care less if it's flat or round or if it's like in the Matrix and we live in a Matrix. I could care less.
Come here, Mike. You'll be here.
Listen, I'm gonna have to go back and watch Under the Dome again, man. You're giving me like Under the Dome shit. Do you remember that movie, that TV show?
This is a fugazi. It's a fugazi. It's not real. It's fake.
You know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I remember when I was a kid sitting in school, because I'm older than you, and the rocket goes up and it blows up. You know, I remember that. You know, but then I seen pictures later that had these people that were still alive, and I'm like,
yep.
I'm like the kid on Home Alone, like
the Challenger explosion. Oh yeah, it's all bullshit, man.
What happened?
The world is a stage, Mike. People got to just wake up and you know.
If you'd watch movies and TV, you'd learn more about what's going on in the world. Than, you know, I mean, the Simpsons have been right 20 some times on what's going to happen.
Well, I don't know if there's 20 sometimes, but I know I think they're 100% right.
Yeah.
However many times that is.
I mean, they said that we'd have watches that you could, like, you know, see things, you know, like TV. They said that Trump would be the president. I mean,
predictive programming.
I mean, there's like all kinds of crap that they did.
Because it's all been planned. They're on they're the globalist agenda, Republican, Democrat. Let's forget about this down here. Look up here.
Well, I hope everybody comes back and watches episode 3 when we do it next week. Fact, Fiction, and Fantasy. And for me and Jim, thanks for watching.
I'm just a fantasy.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. You know the Aldo Nova song? Just a fantasy. Not